Good evening, fellow Blues. Just me at the moment, just waiting for Robbie. Team news is in. We're a bit late tonight because Robbie's being called out to work. So we'll just go through the team news. Everybody happy with the team? Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Tarkovsky, Keane, Michalenko, Garner, James Garner, Hillman and Jai, Dewsbury, Grealish and Beto. And for the subs, we've got Asnu, Boonham, Travers in goal, Nathan Patterson, Dwight McNeil, Tieno Barry, Tyler Diblin, and Seamus Coleman. So, I mean, it's a pretty strong lineup for me. I think it's probably the best one we can put out at the minute. I'll just get the West Ham team up. Let's go. It's not coming up for some reason. There we go. Not coming up. Where is it? I don't know how to do that. I'm not technically gifted. Anyway, so the West Ham team news is Areola in goal, Walker Peters, Mavropanos, Kilman, Diouf, Magassa, Fernandez, Paquetá, Bowen, Somerville, and Fulkrug. Obviously, there's a lot of danger in that team, and they might get this new manager bounce, which we had, and a lot of teams have. Obviously, the dangers are Paquetá and Bowen. Somerville, obviously, very speedy, very quick. So we need to deal with their pace. There's a lot of pace in that team. Peter's saying that he's there. He's not even on the bench. Peter Walker Peters. Sorry, Ward Prowse. He's not even on the bench, and obviously, you know, his what's name and his set pieces are crucial to West Ham. So that's a bit of a bonus. All right, thanks for that, Lee. Like I say, I'm not the technically gifted one. Me and Robbie just a pair of old farts who technophobes. But thanks for that, mate. Mark, yeah, Beto. I mean, Beto for me. Beto is probably our best striker, and that's not saying a lot. Is the Robster right? The Robster.
How you doing, friend?
You're muted.
Muted. Stand by. Any better?
Still muted.
Waity, wait. Waity, wait.
Rob's trying to sort out his technical difficulties. Peter's saying here we have to be really wary of Somerville, Paquetá, and Bowen. If Fulkrug is on one tonight, we could be in trouble. Tarkovsky and Keane need to isolate him. 100%. They've got, you know, the fact of the matter is they're struggling. But if they get this new manager bounce, they've got enough quality in that squad to cause teams problems. And they could cause us a problem tonight. Let me just get rid of that. Where's it gone? Because it's taking up half my face and everybody wants to see my lovely face. Banners. I'm just getting a message off Robbie here. Nice. There we go. Back to comments. Dave, you can hear him, David. I could. Robbie, apparently people can hear you. I can't hear you, mate. Let's see what Robbie has to say. Let's just.
I clearly can't do it when I'm out of the house, can I? Even though I'm on the Bluetooth and whatever. That's what happened in Bratislava, wasn't it? So you set up and then everything's mute unless I'm in the house.
So there you go. But people could hear him for some reason. But yeah, so Lee's saying they're definitely a dangerous team when they click. Let's just hope that they don't click tonight. I mean, I highly rate Nuno Espirito Santo. Why Forest ever got rid of him, I don't know. Like, and they've gone to Ange Posta, no clue, and they haven't won a game yet under him, I don't think. But because he won the Europa League or whatever it is they won last season, all of a sudden he's in demand. I'm not into that, me. Like I don't rate him. A mate of mine a few years ago asked me when he was at Celtic, would we take Ange Posta, no clue, and I was like, nah, mate. When you're managing in Scotland and you're winning things, it's not difficult. It's not, even Steven Gerrard managed to do it. So no, it's not for me. Charlie makes a good point there. I think the same, mate. Chopping and changing of Beto and Barry is not giving either of them any confidence. Oh, Beto proves us wrong tonight. I just don't think that he knows who his best striker is, and he's just going with experience more than like the raw talent of Tierno Barry. You know, in fits and starts, Barry's shown like some good qualities, holding the ball up and laying it off and stuff like that, which is not like Beto's best strength. But then in other games, Beto's come on and he's looked a better player than what Tierno Barry is, certainly in the derby, you know what I mean? Not the derby, against Wolves. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because we've only got the two strikers, so we've got to sort of like try and find who can start scoring goals. And history will tell us that Beto's given the service, he will score goals. Yeah, I agreed. I agreed. And you know what? He's going to be one of these managers that ends up flitting about in the Premier League for years, a bit like Sam Allardyce. Um, who's the other ones that were flying around? Harry Redknapp's and all that. He's going to be one of them managers that you just constantly see at different clubs because he's never going to sort of hold down, all this. And I mean, I was pleased for him when he won the Europa League because he put himself out there and said he only wins things in the second season, and he did. Fair play to him. Do you know what I mean? But he's still not a very good manager. I think it was more luck than actually guile that he actually won that Europa League. Against the poor, I think it was Man United team. Evening, Gustavo. Obviously, you're not in the UK, so you're in the afternoon, the evening for us here. Good to see you on board, mate. Rod, this game is a sliding doors moment. It could well dictate the narrative of our season. Yeah, I think most Evertonians, Rod, are worried about tonight, probably based on the last two games more than anything. If we'd have probably been facing West Ham, even with a new manager, after the Brighton game and whatnot, we'd have been going into it full of confidence. But the fact of the matter is, we're coming in off the back of two defeats, so confidence is not sky high at the moment. Catalan 094. Everton should decide to get Liam Delap. I think they did. I think they did try and put a bid in for him, but you obviously see the bright lights of London and the big money at Chelsea and send us down, mate. Plus the fact I don't think he's going to get many minutes at Chelsea, and I think he's injured at the moment. Is he? Yeah, I think he is. Daniel, yeah. Final versus United was one of the worst matches I've seen. Certainly the worst final. Yeah, completely agree with you, mate. And I'd say it wasn't through good football that Spurs won that cup. It was down to the fact that Man United was shitter than Spurs. So our confidence is not from our minds in making silly decisions. Hopefully, he cuts that crap out now. I mean, yeah, I think we were all weren't happy with the lineup against Wolves. You know, that was a cup that we could have gone on and sort of had a good cracker. But he decided to put a so-called weakened team out as such, and it didn't pay off for us. I think he didn't want to play the likes of Grealish. His hand was forced because we were so bad. But hopefully tonight, you know, they'll get back to winning ways and sort of get the confidence back in the team. But this is a good Everton team. Let's have it right. And you know, apart from Bramthwaite, it's probably our best 11 at the moment. Right, yeah, 100%. I don't get I didn't get the understanding of why they sold Chimiti to Rangers to then leave themselves with two strikers. To me, it didn't make any sense. You've got to have the competition, certainly in them forward areas. And I know, like, Chimiti wasn't the best, and I'm not sure whether he's having a hard time with it up in Scotland as well. So maybe that sort of speaks volumes. If he's having hard times up in Scotland, then maybe he just wasn't good enough. Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky saying he watched the Forest game, their defence on half. Exactly. Yeah, and Postecoglou absolutely reminds me of the way Leeds played under Bielsa. You know, it was all great going forward, but they couldn't defend to save their lives. It was shocking. You know, so yeah, they're not great at the minute, Forest, and I'll be seriously, like, I'll be wondering if he lasts it out the season under that Marinakis. To be perfectly honest. Yeah, gas pipe. Like I say, Chimiti's terrible, but he was an option to have on the bench, mate. It's not the fact that, you know, we've already got. I'm not going to say Barry's terrible and Beto's terrible, but we've already got two strikers who aren't firing. So at least there would have been an option. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say they got great money for him either. What was it, 8 million got leading to 10? Mark, we look to catches on the break. Nuno likes to play a low block away from home. Can we break them down? We certainly can. With the players that we've got in our team, our creative players can certainly break them down. You know, we proved that against Liverpool in the derby. Once we played football, we can break any defense down. You know, but with the flair and the attacking talent that we've got in the midfield, we can definitely break them down, mate. Rod says he'd go for Diblin if Beto screws up again tonight. Can't hold the ball up, strong in the goal, and then previous manager said, "Oh, can hold the ball up, strong in the goal." And the previous manager said he thought he might end up there. Fair enough. I mean, when he played against Wolves, he was all left foot, weren't he? He had a crack on his right, which went wide, but he just kept wanting to come in on his left foot, didn't he? So, you know, have we got an upgrade on Dwight McNeil? That's the thing, innit? You know what I mean? Peter saying Chimiti wasn't given a fair chance, and that's where I look at the club as a whole. Fundamentally, we have never given a chance to young talents to play next to our best players, and I don't understand it. Mainly because we haven't been in a position to be able to do that, Peter, because we've been struggling down the bottom, and then you're putting a lot of trust in sort of young talent. When you're down the bottom of the league, you really can't afford to do it. Chimiti was injured at times when he could have been loaned out. Could have done with the season in the Championship. 100%. I thought that was what was going to happen this season, to be fair. Mr. Blue Skies, like to see Michaelenko overlapping Grealish more because Grealish never loses the ball. But I think we'd all like to see Michaelenko overlapping anybody, full stop. You know what I mean? Like he gets there now and again, but it's not often enough. I think over the years we got spoilt with the likes of, you know, Baines and Seamus when they used to go bombing down. We haven't really had that since then. So it's like, you know, you think that with Baines in the coaching team, be able to coach that into Michaelenko, but like I say, he does get down now and again, but ultimately, a lot of the time, his distribution is not very good. Rod's saying a lot of Rangers fans aren't happy with him. Someone said, like I say, I suppose that speaks volumes. If you're struggling in Scotland to score goals, maybe that's because he's in a poor Rangers team. Who knows? You know, Ian Wright went up to Celtic when he was in like 34, 35 and tore it up. So that says a lot about the Scottish League in general. I'm not going to sit here and slag it off, but you know, apart from Rangers and Celtic, there's no competition in the league. Lee Page, let's be honest, Michaelenko is in the future. If we want to move forward, eventually be replaced. I agree, and I think there's from what I read, I think there was contract discussions going on, wasn't he? And I'm not sure whether he's reluctant to sign a contract or what, but we definitely need to start. You know, is Asnu, you know, the replacement, because we haven't seen a lot of him because he's been injured, and then, you know, when he's been on the bench, he hasn't been brought on. So is he the future? Because we have, like I say, we can't forge an opinion on him because we haven't seen him. So, but he's on the bench. Maybe he might get a few minutes tonight. But he's a bit nippy, you know what I mean? So, but we need an injection of pace in the team, and that's what we are lacking. Obviously, we need a right back as well. We were screaming out for a right back in the transfer window. We never got one. But for some reason, tonight we've got two right backs on the bench that he doesn't really, you know, favour. Coleman playing at left back the other week. Didn't understand that when Michaelenko was fit. To see the sign of more players in January, I think that they're going to probably, you know, ultimately they're going to have to try and get that right to position that we're sort of severely lacking in. As good as Jake O'Brien's done, he's not a right back, and he doesn't offer that forward momentum. He does get down there now and again, but a lot like Michaelenko, it's all like fits and starts. So he hasn't got the engine to get there and back constantly, whereas that's what we need. The Rod saying last year was Michael was happy here and wants to sign. We were told we wouldn't get anything sorted in one window. Yeah, I mean, ultimately this is David Moyes' first window since he come back. So you've got to give him a chance to sort of rebuild the squad. And to a certain extent, he's done well. But we were desperate for that right back, and we needed that right back. And I think that as good as, and I'll hold my hands up and say, you know what, I've been one of Michael Keane's biggest knockers, and would I turn around and swap Jake O'Brien for Michael Keane at the moment? Probably not, because I certainly wouldn't swap him for Tarkowski because he's the captain, right, and he's the leader. People keep saying swap Tarkowski out. I don't think you can do that. I really don't. Apparently, Angus Kinnear said signs in January not likely, but I guess we will see. Like I say, I think we only we only really need that right back. I don't think the rest of the squad is that bad. And obviously we've got a tough game coming up next week with our mates from London, Crystal Palace. Very, very tough game. And then I think it's the week after that, I think it's City. So Grealish will probably be, he won't be able to play. So that's going to be a conundrum. Switch and Jai back on the left. So, but it's only 2 games that we're going to miss Grealish if he doesn't get injured. You know what I mean? So it's not really much to worry about. Well, so what's your predictions tonight, Blues? I'm going to go for 2-1 to the Blues. I might have a little quid. I have a little quid every game on Jake O'Brien to score. I'm going to have to end the stream in a minute because give you all a chance to get a beer or a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever. So Lee's going for 2-0 to the Blues. Flash is going for 3-0. Daniel's going for a very very optimistic 4-0. Gas pipe, I love your optimism, mate. 27-0. I'll have that. Mr. Blue Skies, Everton 2, West Ham 1, NGI and Barry. Lee's going for the 27-0 as well. This is right, Lee. Are you laughing at gas pipe? The Rod's going for a board roll all over it. I don't think it will. I think there's goals in this. I think there's goals in this game, mate. I think Everton want to rectify the last 2 games, and I think they're going to show up tonight. I think there's going to be goals. Roy's going for 1-0 Beto. Daniel saying we haven't battered anyone in ages. It's due. Well, with the strikers that we've got up front, mate, we've got less chance of battering anybody. Mark Foster's going for a 1-1. Hope he's wrong. He hopes he's wrong. Sazim's going for 3-1. Good lad, Sazim. And Peter's going for a last-minute winner. KDH. Well, yeah. So I think that he was having testicle issues. But we'll be back. There might be a midweek Blues. Somebody will be on later on for the post-match. Won't be me because I'm up at 20 to 4 in the morning to go and pick people up to get them where they need to go. And so I'll be having a late one watching the game tonight. But have a good evening, Blues, and let's hope for a winner. Good game. Up the Toffees.